After Adam and Eve sinned, they were conscious of their nakedness, and they were reluctant to present themselves before God. Eventually, God clothed them and sent them away from the Garden of Eden. Since then, Adam and Eve and their descendants have concealed their nakedness with clothes. We, the descendants of Adam and Eve, today continue to conceal our nakedness with clothes. What exactly is problematic concerning the nakedness of man? Of all the creations of God, man is the only creation who wears clothes. Why is it that man does not want to reveal his nakedness? Why do people wear clothes? What exactly are they trying to conceal? Of what are they conscious? Let us go back to the time when Adam and Eve sinned. What did they do? They did something that they were asked not to do. They tasted the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. And this is most probably allegorical. We don't know whether the fruit is a literal fruit. I suspect that it is not. Whatever they did something that God asked them not to do. And that's putting it mildly. After they disobeyed God, they became conscious of their nakedness, and that bothered them. They were bothered by the consciousness of their nakedness, and they wanted to cover themselves. They saw certain parts of their bodies as shameful. God did not create man in a shameful way. God created man perfectly. Everything that God created in man was beautiful. Yet, why did man become ashamed of certain parts of his body? How did his sin bring that consciousness? There are very few details in the Bible, and the question cannot be answered satisfactorily. But all that one can say is this: the original sin of Adam and Eve must have been an abuse of certain parts of the human body, or must have led to the knowledge of abuse. It is because of this that the immediate consequence of their disobedience was an awareness of their nakedness, and their nakedness troubled them, because when they saw their nakedness, they also saw their sin. To this day, man is conscious of his nakedness. He may not cover his entire body, but he covers certain parts of his body. Certain parts which, if revealed, will reveal his shame. That, I believe, is the strongest evidence for the biblical account of man's fall. If the Bible is true, then it is certainly true when you consider how man is still conscious of his nakedness, how he still would not risk the disclosure of those parts which he would want to be concealed. This, for me, is the strongest evidence, the undeniable proof for the truth of the Bible, which begins with man's fall. The consequences of the fall are still with us. They still remain with us today.